Welcome to Badminton Racket Review and to racket number 605. So we have with us today an Abroz, which is a new manufacturer actually. It was recommended that for testing by a few people who are subscribers to the E-Zone. So we approached the suppliers and we managed to try the Z-Lite last year, which actually turned out to be a super high performer. If you're an E-Zone member, you know what I'm talking about. That's a great racket. So this year we've tried out some new rackets from the Abroz range. This one is the Nano Power Smash racket, and let's go through the racket specs and compare them to the E-Zone testing. So we have string tension maximum 30 pounds. Again, you know, Apex, Abroz, awesome. I mean, we're talking about a weight of this racket of 78 grams plus or minus 2. I'll come to the E-Zone testing, weight test in a second, but my point here is 78 gram frame and 30 pounds tension. There's something in that, isn't there? I mean, there's, you know, you would feel fairly confident about what you've produced if you're offering that out as an advertised on the racket tension for the racket. I think that's really good. Now, as I said, the weight of the racket is 78 plus or minus 2. The E-Zone testing for the weight showed it at 80.7, so pretty accurate according to the racket. 78 plus or minus 2, 80.7. That's with the grips applied by Abroz and the strings at 0.65mm gauge. The balance point on this racket, 300mm plus or minus 5, so definitely leaning towards the head of the racket. The E-Zone testing balance point shows it to be the balance point 312, so you know, it's still leaning towards the head of the racket, the balance point. Now the shaft stiffness, I always mess that up, shaft stiffness. The shaft stiffness is towards flexible, that certainly feels flexible. The E-Zone testing shows it to be medium flex, and I think that's absolutely accurate, to be honest with you. Now the availability of this racket, we sell this racket at www.badminton-racket-review.com. We sell these rackets because they're difficult to get hold of in Europe. If you're in Asia, Badminton Bay sell these rackets. I'm not sure who else does or doesn't now. The price of these rackets ranges between 40 to 45 pounds, which I can tell you right now before we go over the testing represents awesome value for money. The design of the racket is not bad actually. It's fairly simple in terms of colours chosen and patterns, but they've chosen well. They've executed it very well. I mean, certainly the print is, from here I can read clearly what it says. So the print is really good. All the lines are straight. You know, it's not a bad racket. It's not the design. I mean, it's not legendary. It's not a Kawasaki or Victor kind of detailed, really precise paintwork. But for what they've done, it's not bad at all. Take a look at these close-up images and make a judgment yourself in terms of the design. Okay, so it is court testing time. Let's go to the E-Zone court tests. So here are the Badminton Racket Review E-Zone key points for testing. Firstly, all rackets are restrung with the same string. Or they were, but this is now no longer being made, so we will be shifting to this string from 2019. All rackets are restrung to 25 pounds of tension. All rackets, 25 pounds of tension. We use the same shuttles, the Yonex AS30s for the control, maneuver and smash test. The player in the smash test uses the same velocity or same power, or as much as is humanly possible to do so, for each test. The control test, obviously it's the same player with the same abilities, and the maneuver test, well, it's a fairly isolated range of movement in fairness. That's all the key information for you. Let's get back to the court testing. So the E-zone smash test is first on the list. The E-zone smash test is designed to reveal the racket smashing potential, which measures the shuttle speed in kilometers per hour and also gives us the relative speed of the racket head. It's a great test. Okay, let's do the E-zone maneuver test now. Speed the racket can achieve from rest. In this test, we measure the head speed of the racket, recording the fastest speed achieved in kilometers per hour. The player is isolated in his movement. He cannot use anything more really than his arm and wrist to move the racket, hence he's on his knees on the test. Time for the E-zone control test. In this test, we place 4 large buckets in front of the player. He aims for the green bucket every time. Every shuttle in the green bucket scores maximum. Shuttles going into the grey bucket score less, and anything in the net or out doesn't score at all. The clip we show you here is half or less of the total test that we do. So that's all the testing complete on this racket. What do we think of it? Well, actually, it represents very good value for money. It's light, fairly easy to use. You do feel the balance in the head for sure. So if you're used to head heavy, no problem. But if you're an even balance player, you're going to notice the head weight of the racket as you play with it. I'd say its core strengths are, it does offer a very good level of control, and its weight to power ratio is actually very good, but above all, when you take into consideration the price, it is a good racket and worth a try. Now, if you want to know everything about this racket, you know what I'm going to say, hop across to the E-zone. There's over 600 rackets that you can compare from, and the in-depth video review within the E-zone is in-depth, as I just said. Smash, drop, drive, overhead, we cover defense, we cover all aspects of it, so you really get a very good idea of the racket you'll be purchasing. As best, we have sat down, had meetings, can we offer any more information than the E-zone racket page and the video review offers? We just can't think of anything else we can add to inform you more of the racket you may be thinking of purchasing, or more important than getting the purchase right is a racket that works for you. Because that is what we motivated us to start Badminton Racket Review. It's just so many players playing with rackets that are just not doing them justice. Find the right racket. It makes a massive difference to your own satisfaction. When you're pulling off shots, just moving around the court, and you're getting to shots that, you know, because people have really awkward styles. There's some people who take the shots really late, you know, not really early. If you're a deceptive player, you hold. You know, you'll see some of the deceptive players on TV, they hold the racket as long as they can, move it, and you know, they'll fake a lift and do a drop. And so you need a certain kind of racket that's going to play towards those aspects of your game, you know, that are going to complement your strengths. So rackets do make a difference. We already know that. Go to the E-zone, have a look at over 600 rackets. Here's an example of what you find when you get to the E-zone.